Hello, Hofstra fans, and welcome to the W. Mason Coach Report with head men's basketball coach Joe Mihalich. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you, Steven. Good to be here.
Coach, we're deep in February. Team's coming off a 1-1 week. Lots of extra basketball. Double overtime on Thursday, overtime on Saturday. Just recap the week that was in Hofstra basketball.
Yeah, a lot of emotion, a lot of emotions too. A lot of basketball, a lot of extra basketball, a lot of emotions, and for so many ways and for so many reasons. At the end of it all, it sounds a little corny, but it's all about how we're going to learn from this past week. We learned on a Thursday night how to find a way to win a tough game against a really well-coached, tough basketball team in Towson. And then Saturday we had a devastating loss. We did, let's face it, let's call it what it was. It was a devastating loss. It was a heck of a game. The crowd was unbelievable. Can't thank the fans enough, and we'll do that again later on in the show. But, we had a chance to win. We had a lot of chances to lose, a lot of chances to win. At the end of the day, our defense you can't give up the points that we gave and win. And, so we had a tough loss, and now we got to deal with it.
So let's go to Thursday. Towson, you're down 10 points with about 8 and change to go. I'm not saying you lose hope, but at what point do you feel like there's a chance you're going to be able to turn the page and right the ship in that game and allow your team to come back for that victory?
And with a team like Towson, who, as I said, have so much respect for Pat Scarry, how he coaches, how tough his kids are. He's brought that team back from not the dead, but they had a tough non-conference season and schedule and record, and he brought them back, and they're fighting like crazy. When you're down 10 against Towson, it's like being down 20 to a lot of teams. It was an attrition thing. We always say in the huddle, stopping the score, one possession at a time. Get a stop, let's get a score. And before you knew it, we had a chance to tie it up and then send the game into overtime. And we found a way. We found a way to win, and that's been one of our qualities all year long.
Yeah, you actually got down 6 in the first overtime and came back, and then the second overtime you kind of took over and you shut out Towson. Who stood out for you in that game that you liked their play?
Well, I guess we had a lot of heroes. I mean, I thought Shaquille was particularly good. We could talk about 7 guys and how they played and what they did. I thought Jalen was terrific. I thought Shaquille had, if I have the numbers right, 14 points, 17 rebounds, 7 block shots, correct? I mean, what a night. And I think he was the CAA player of the night or whatever, and he should have been. So, Justin's always Justin. There's no one like him. There's just no one like Justin. He's one of the best ever. But that night, I think we got to put the star cap on Shaquille.
And it was a great night. Obviously, Coach Scarry runs the college basketball world's autism awareness organization, and your team has played a key role in that over the couple of years because of your friendship with Pat. How important was that? And you guys kind of shared you bought T-shirts for Towson for them to wear, and it's an important aspect of what you guys do.
I actually wish I don't mean to take a jab here, but I wish our league would adopt it. I think our league, but if for no other reason, because Pat Scarry is fighting the fight like a lot of parents are fighting it. And I wish our league could maybe take the next step forward and make it a league thing where the league really does all we can for this autism awareness cause, because it's a great cause, and as we've learned through so many other, whether it be cancer or what have you, we can list so many. The awareness can generate some fundraising, and with that, then the scientists take over, and maybe we can do some more things to make people with autism have a better life.
So you pick up your 23rd win against Towson. Saturday, senior day, played James Madison. It was really an incredible basketball game, back and forth. As you mentioned earlier, defense was a little optional by both teams. Dropped a 104-99 decision in overtime. Your overall assessment of the game, you kind of gave a little bit of thought, but what else did you have to say?
Well, I'll hit you with a statistic that we're not very proud of. I mean, first of all, 23 wins. We're very proud of that. I mean, that's an incredible number, and it's a good bad thing or a bad good thing that we have 23 wins and we're not happy right now. We're really upset. So, but the statistic I'm going to give you is we've given up 50 points a half in the last 5 games in the second half. So I know there's a lot of qualifiers there, but in the second half, over the last 5 games, we've allowed the opponent to get 50 points. Well, that's not winning basketball. And we got to do a better job with it, whatever it is. We got to make adjustments with whatever we're doing defensively. We got to dig in a little bit more. But, we can't let the other team score that many points.
Yeah, you started your seniors in that game, seniors and Eli Pemberton. You actually got some real good minutes early from Kenny Wormley, a three-pointer and a real nice pass, I think, to Jaquil early on. He gave you some quality minutes there. And then late in the game, I thought the key when Jaquil fouled out and got in foul trouble, Dan Dwyer was huge late in the second half and in overtime. Your thoughts?
Our seniors were good, really good. You know, you agonize a little bit over whether or not you start your seniors, because with us, Danny and Jaquil play the same position. They've never played 1 second together on the floor. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, the seniors started not because it was senior night, because of who they were, what they did, how they contributed to the team. And you know, I would first talk about Kenny Wormley. You know, listen, Kenny. I have so much respect for Kenny Wormley, and that comes from the heart. You know, Kenny started last year. He played a lot last year, and this year he's really in a limited role. He's been somebody that's been relegated to the second team, relegated to, you know, being more of a scout team guy than a key player, and he's helped us every day. He's done that because he loves the game, he loves his teammates, and that's why I have so much respect for him. He's played a part in every one of those 23 wins, not by hitting the winning basket, not by rebounding, but because every day in practice he's so good. And then Danny Dwyer. You know, I heard a wonderful definition for humility, and it's this, that it doesn't mean that you think less of yourself. It means that you think of yourself less. No one epitomizes that more than Danny Dwyer. He gives everything he has to the team. He never puts himself first. It's always about the team. If he plays 7 minutes, he's as happy as anybody in the locker room. If he plays 25, he's the same way. Those two guys deserve to start. We know Jaquil's going to start. We know Justin's going to start. But they deserve to start, again, not because it was senior night, because they're special guys, both of them.
And then the other two seniors you haven't quite mentioned as much, Justin Wright-Foreman and Jaquil Taylor, who have been obviously MVP and maybe unsung hero of what you've done this year. Just talk about them in the senior day. You know, Jaquil was a one-year guy for your program, but it feels like he has made his mark in Hofstra lore after what he's given this program this year.
I agree with you. He's really become a popular guy. I mean, he's become a fan favorite. Everybody loves him. He's become it's a one-name recognition for everybody. You just got to say Jaquil. We know who you're talking about. And he's earned that. He's deserved it. He's gotten better and better with each game, more and more comfortable and confident. And he's a special guy, and his contributions on the floor are obvious. I think he's third or fourth in the league now in rebounding. You know, block shots. He's probably one of the top 2 or 3 guys, at least in conference play, right? And so he's had a great year, and I couldn't be happier for him that it's worked out so well. You know, the battle cry with him and Danny was, you know, you got 1 year to go because you've already graduated. Let's make it the best year of your life, and I think they have, both of them. And then Justin, it's hard to even talk about him. He's we're looking out the window right here. Might his number be retired and hanging up there? You know, it probably should be, but that'll be for somebody else to decide. I think it should be, but that'll be for somebody else to decide. But you know, and he just continues to amaze us. Tough situation there with it's got to be the emotion. You can't imagine the emotion on Saturday. People wearing T-shirts with your name and number on it. Your last game here, where you've done so many wonderful things. I don't know how he does it. You know, we were just sat right at this table yesterday, had a good long talk about a lot of things. And Justin is a big game guy. He is. The brighter the lights, the tougher the situation, whether he has to prove he's better than the guy at Marshall, John Elmore, whatever his name is, and all due respect to John Elmore. Whether he has to do that early in the season, whether he has to play well at VCU, whether it's senior night, and with all the distractions and emotion, he just keeps doing it. He's an incredible guy. He's an incredible guy.
And remarkably, James Madison was the last remaining C opponent. He had never scored 30 points again in a game, and guess what? He did it on senior night.
He did that.
Now to the most important thing. I've been in Hofstra a long time. I'm not sure I've seen a more engaged and better crowd than was here on Saturday. I know you touched on it earlier, but there was one point in the second half during the run where I think Tariq hit a 3. I thought the roof was going to fall off. Your team couldn't even hear you. What were your thoughts on that crowd and just what happened there?
First things first, we can't thank all of our fans enough, can we? We can't.
Right.
It's been an incredible, best year for me while I've been here. You know, they've been incredible, the fans. And I've got so many, you know, after a tough loss, you get all kinds of emails and text messages. The warm, wonderful, positive text messages, emails I got, they're endless. They're endless. And for all those people that did that, I can't thank you enough. But our fans, and you know, I've talked about this. The William and Mary game was a sellout, big game. That to me was the best night ever here. I think Saturday topped it. The only thing is we disappointed the people, and I apologize for that. I wish we would have come away with the victory, but you know, it was an incredible day for all of Hofstra again, and for the fans. And you know, as I got one text from a former player, he says, "I'm a Hofstra fan again," and that makes you feel good.
Well, Coach, thank you, and we wish you good luck at Drexel in Delaware this week. Saturday at Drexel, 7 o'clock. Saturday at Delaware, 2 big games. You could get a little trophy hopefully this week, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Well, we're going to do our best, and again, thanks to everybody. But let's see if we can go on the road now and do what we have to do.
Thank you for joining us on the W. Mason Coach Report with head men's basketball coach Joe Mihalich.